So this is video 92 and I have 92, 93, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So together with this video I need to record 9 videos to reach my 100 videos goal, and after this I can record only one video a week, or even one video in 2 weeks. And what? Let's say if I record 4 videos in the next 4 days, which are the holidays here, then I have like 90, 92, 93, 94, 95, and there will be only 5 videos to go, and it looks like 1, 2, and 2. So after that I will record the rest of the videos in 3 weeks. So till the end of January I finally reach my goal. So now I don't have much to talk about. Actually, I do the English grammar. I continue to read this book, Galitsynski, with lots of exercises on some particular English grammar examples, and it really helps to build the foundation for the particular patterns in English. First, this book doesn't have much on the reported speech, but in any case I learned this stuff. I don't remember. I think I talked about this in the previous video, that for the present tenses and the future tenses in the main clause, we can choose any necessary tense in the subordinate clause, but for the past tense in the main clause, like past simple, past continuous, past perfect, maybe even past perfect continuous, we should do this shift and use the we should do this shift in the subordinate clause, kind of step back, when the future becomes the future in the past, the present becomes the past, like present simple turns into past simple, present continuous into the past continuous, present perfect into the past perfect, and present perfect continuous into the past perfect continuous, because luckily we have all this correspondence. And for the past tenses, past simple turns into past perfect, past continuous turns into past perfect continuous, and past perfect continuous in the subordinate clause in this case remain the same. So next I discovered another interesting example about which I learned a long time ago, but I got the idea, but I didn't remember this example very much. So I discovered that if and when clauses are used as the conditional and the clause of time, then we should use present or past instead of the future, or future in the past. For example, I'll call you as soon as he comes back home, or I called you, or I informed you as soon as maybe I said that let's say I said that I would inform you as soon as he came back home. We see that we don't use the future in the past in the if or when clause, and we use the present, the past simple form in this case. But this is the standard example which is taught in the textbooks. Well, actually, it's possible to understand why they have such limited set of rules for different textbooks, because first you need to learn the examples around which the examples for one particular rule, and only then, when you know these rules, you can get the whole picture. Like, for example, the whole picture in this case will be that sometimes we can use when he will come home, and this form is used when the this when clause is not about the conditional or time clause, but it's about let's say object or additional information. Like we asked him whether he knew when Sam would come home. In this case, they're not interested. It's not about the condition. Like he knows. He tells them when. He will tell them when Sam comes home, but he knows, or he knew what, he knew some information, he knew what, when Sam will come home, or he knew when Sam would come home. So, well, this all sounds quite logical, but without a deep understanding on the first of this difference, it can be intuitive, but you can confuse these two rules and not be sure in the right case. Or you can use this when present or when past tense for the informative clause, and miss the right tense. So what? This is one of the examples for the grammar patterns which I learned in addition to this stuff of the reported speech. And the next example on which I was working for a long time, so it was about the complex object. There is a set of verbs which can be used with the complex object. Like, for example, I want you to go there. I want him to do his homework right now. And maybe this sounds quite logical in English, but in Russian it's not. And with want and would like to, everything is quite simple. Like, I want you to go there. I would like her to wear this red dress. So I discovered that there is one. Well, actually, to understand the problem with this, it's necessary to know that in Russian, the sentence which are the translations of this form are quite similar to the sentences which are the translations of the following one. Like, I expect that he will bring my textbook back tomorrow. Or I don't know, expect and something else. Expect. Yeah, this is that something. It is translated into Russian language kind of the same way. But when we use the complex object, like I expect him to bring my homework or my textbook tomorrow, there is no correspondence in Russian language for this structure. That's why it sounds kind of unnatural for me, because if we have already this, I expect that he will bring my textbook, I don't need to have this complex object. But in want and would like structures, there is no the other form like that. That's why want and would like him to go sounds really strange from the start. Anyway, there are other okay, I remember the pair for the expect in this book. It was like, I know that he is a good doctor, but we should say, maybe it's more natural in English, I know him to be a good doctor. This is the example of a complex object. So I want you to buy some milk in the shop. I would like you to stop talking on your phone while we have dinner. I expect her to finish school with the marks greater than average, above average. I know they know I know him to be an honest, kind guy. This is 4 patterns. Another 2 patterns are like, I think, I like you, I don't know. Let's say I like you to play chess with me, I hope. And I hate you to talk at the dinner table. So I like you to play chess with me. I like when you play chess with me. So I like you to play chess with me. I hate when you talk at the dinner table. I hate you to talk at the dinner table. I think this is the correct complex object. So there are six structures so far. Then okay, I don't remember other structures with 2, but then we have solid structures which uses all the stuff without which use structures which use this infinitive without the 2, without 2, yeah, without 2. Like this is for the particular verbs of perception. Like I see her get out of the bus. I saw her get out of the bus. It's like the infinitive, her to get. But in this case, we don't use to. I saw her get out of the bus. I observed him took the taxi. Take. I observe him take the taxi because this is the infinitive. I watched them play in the garden on my way here. So these are the 3 verbs for this eye perception. Saw, see, watch, observe. Then there is one with hear. I heard them. I heard them sing in the hall. Next, I felt him touch my hand. So this is it. And maybe notice. I'm sure notice. Maybe notice go to see. Like I notice him stand in the corner. I'm not sure about this. Notice him. So the thing is, for this construction, for these verbs like see, watch, observe, he felt. For these verbs, it's possible to use not only the infinitive form without to, but the participle 1, which means this action can happen at the same time. It is the continuous action. Like I observed the birds flying to the south, or I watched the players, I watched them playing football, or I observed, I saw her going out of her house. I'm sure but notice. Maybe I noticed them standing at the corner of the street. Then I heard them singing in the room. I felt her touching my hand. So that's all. With this participle one, we understand that the continuous action takes place, but with the infinitive without to, it's just some individual action, just the fact of the action itself without the continuation, without the process of it. So next, after successfully practicing all the stuff, well, not all, I didn't finish about 10 exercises on complex object where I need to translate the Russian sentences into the English sentences using this particular structure. But to give some relaxation for the brain and to change the exercise, I moved to the complex subject, which is like this. He is said to travel with Magellan, which means that it is said that he traveled with Magellan. Infinitive denotes this simultaneous action which happened in the past. I think this is the wrong example. Well, it's quite a normal example. Yeah, but it means that right now this person travels with Magellan somewhere. We don't talk about the process, but we talk about the fact. Where is he? He is said to travel with Magellan, but maybe should I say, yeah, 5 days ago, he is said to travel with Magellan, maybe. But if you want to say that it was the past activity and now this is just the fact, he's doing something else, then we say he is said to have traveled with Magellan, or he was said to have traveled with Magellan, or he is said to have traveled with Magellan, or he is said to travel with Magellan. So yeah, if this is the fact that he travels with Magellan, then we use infinitive without to for the present or for the past. But if we say that this was the fact in the past, then we use the perfect infinitive, have traveled. So there are lots of examples of this special verbs, which create this complex subject, like it is said, it is reported, or not it is. He, for example, he is said, he was reported, he was heard, he was seen, and so on. But there are 4 more examples of verbs which exist in active voice. Like, he happens to be there. Like, it happens that he is there, or he seems to go there. It seems that he goes there. He happens, he seems, he turns out to be driving the same train, or he turns out to be driving the same. He appeared to be at the same train. So, well, that's kind of difficult to talk about it without examples or without any visual schemes on the screen, but at least I understand these differences between the complex object, between the complex subject, and passive and active form of these main verbs in the sentences with the complex subject. And I recall another small example, the usage of the construction it is the city that I was born, which means I want to make the logical stress on the city. I can say I was born in the city, but when I say it is the city that I was born, or it is the person whom I met 2 days ago, then I stress the person or the city out of the whole sentence. Okay, anyway, this requires lots of practice, and this doesn't require lots of vocabulary. And with vocabulary, I just stopped for some time doing the vocabulary from the Navigate. So this works this way. Anyway, I didn't listen too much, or I didn't listen at all to something which I can, like the audiobook, which I can recall, or I didn't read much. Well, actually, I downloaded this children's history encyclopedia, and I went through the main parts, and I discovered some interesting facts about the old historical period of time. And these facts are, for example, I discovered the spindle and the whirl, and that this stuff was used to create the thread from the wool. The weavers used the special techniques to put the to rotate the spindle and to put the thread, the twisted something twisted material from the wool into the thin thread. So for me it was interesting that this spindle meant the particular object, which I know in Russian, but I never saw it in even in the pictures. I didn't know what is it, except for the fact that it was used for the weaving. That's why it was a surprise for me to observe this stuff. Also, it was a surprise for me to discover that first was the Stone Age, and it's kind of logical, but then it came the Copper Age. It was not very long, or it was not necessary. It was not necessary in different regions, but it looks like the intermediate period to the Bronze Age, when the people learned to mix the copper with the tin and then create this bronze material, which is stronger than all the previous materials. And the people made the materials, or the tools like the heads of the arrows, the axes, the swords and other stuff from the bronze. And only after that the Iron Age appeared, which means the people learned to extract and to process the iron from the iron ore, and from the iron they created they created some stuff, again the same tools, but it was stronger than the bronze tools. And of course the blacksmiths who were the masters of creating who were the only profession allowing to create these tools. So they were very important for the society. And later, only many centuries later, I am not sure, maybe in the beginning of the 20th century, maybe in the end of the 19th century, the steel was discovered as the combination of carbon and iron, I think. Well, I'm not sure really, but this was the next step towards something else. Okay, there was the new tools and new military weapons. Okay, what else? Yeah, actually, that's quite an interesting information, and I go through it. I don't have a goal of learning this stuff. Maybe at some point I'll just take the notes. But for now I'm alright with reading the stuff aloud and getting the unknown words or the pronunciation of the known words, because if this book is for the children of 7 to 9 years old, I should be able to know these words as well. Next, so this is about the encyclopedia. Well, actually, there is no specific topics I can talk about. Maybe at some point I should read the description of the car, automobile, and the way the engine works, the way the driving practice works. Like you have 3 pedals and you press what are they? Gas, brakes, and the clutch, and then you change the lever, move the lever the specific way, and change the gears. Okay, you move the gear stick in for 6 positions, and you move the gear and this, and pressing the clutch, the gas, and the brakes the certain way, you can you can put your car in some particular mode when this car can reach some particular speed. And then when you need to increase the speed or decrease it, you need to switch to the different gear, and then you need to press the clutch, the gas or brakes the correct way. And the other parts of the car, like the hood, I'm not sure about maybe the bonnet, but no. Okay, the front, the bonnet, and the hood. I think yes. But in the end we have the trunk and or something different. So also there are these wheels, tires, doors, and other stuff of the car. Well, I didn't read much of the new texts which I can retell, or the mangas, or I didn't watch much of the animes to retell. So I could say that I have this problem of not knowing what to talk about now, but actually it's not a problem for me right now. I can prepare some topic, but for now I'm alright with talking about anything, just because I need to finish these videos and I'm quite tired of doing this beads stuff. I bought a certain kit consisting of beads of different color, and this wire, copper wire, and all this stuff. And I have a scheme, and I should create several flowers according to the scheme, like 3 white camomiles and 2 these bluebells, whatever they are, and 3 or 5 3 to 4 4 what are they? Carnations, red carnations, small red carnations, but well, it is really difficult. It is really difficult, and it took me 3 hours just to create one chamomile. So I'm not going to create 2 more chamomiles, and I'm not going to do 2 bluebells. I'll just go with 1 bluebell and 3 carnations, so that this small bouquet of 3 carnations was kind of as large as 1 chamomile and 1 bluebell. And then I'll put them in 1 bouquet, and that will be right for me. Yeah, because, well, actually they're not so beautiful as they look on the cover of this beads kit. And in the end, actually creating 20 petals of the chamomile going through the same scheme is not very cool thing, but they need to create 2 more chamomiles, or doing 5 petals of the bluebell, which I'm going to do tomorrow, is a challenge in itself, and doing 5 more petals doesn't really worth it. So yeah, I should say that, yeah, in the end, well, when I sewed the hole in my chest pocket in my winter coat, I felt this nostalgia when I sewed handmade pocket to my home trousers using a very simple technique, but it worked. And I had this desire to do something like handmade stuff, because 20 years ago, when I was at the school, maybe in the 10th or the 11th grade, I created the figures according to the schemes in the particular sets, in the similar sets, like the dragon and smaller what are the figures, smaller figures. And since then I never did this stuff, because it's kind of hard, and it put some tension on my shoulders and my eyes. And because I work with the computer all the time, at home and at work, I prefer not to put additional tension on my shoulders and on my eyes, but in this particular case I have this desire, and it took me maybe 3 hours to choose the right figure which I wanted to create from these beads, because there are different figures and some of them I don't like at all, but the more beautiful figures are custom. So you can buy a scheme, but you need to buy the beads yourself. So I just found the bouquet which I like, because there were different bouquets, but I didn't like them, or there were individual flowers, but together they each of them cost a fortune compared to the total sum for the bouquet. If we divide it for each individual flower, if we divide it for the number of the flowers in the bouquet, we get that the individual flower from the bouquet costs twice or thrice cheaper than the individual flower in such set or beads kit. Anyway, when I started to do this stuff, I understood that it's really hard, and well, it's really hard. But I already bought this kit and I accepted the challenge, especially after some commentator wrote that this kit is made for the kids starting from 10 years old, but her kid couldn't create the figure according to the scheme. So neither did the parent. So it was the challenge for me, and I already created the chamomile. It was really hard, and I decided to go with one chamomile. I'm not going to do 2 more chamomiles, but I'm going to create 1 of 2 bluebells and then 3 of 4 carnations. So this is the stuff which I spent time on during this long weekend, and I already have about 40 minutes of recordings. So this is all. That is all for my today's video 92, and I hope to record 3 more videos during this long weekend. So for this video, this is the end.